Record. Um, so I'm really excited about calls like this because it gives me an opportunity to hear just a little bit more about the amazing and incredible life-changing testimonies from people on our team specifically. But tonight, it's incredibly special for me to share this particular ambassador's journey with you guys because I was just with this particular ambassador last Saturday at a training event. Her name is Jay Newsom, and I am excited for her to share her testimony. I did know Jay's testimony before she talked to me in person, like really in depth about her testimony. And literally, I don't know who was there. There was Angela, what was there? I believe. Who else was there? Nicole was there. There were a couple other people there. Tiffany Alexander was there. We had a few people that went to lunch with us after the event on Saturday. And guys, we were all just in tears listening to Jay's testimony. And so I was just like, man, people have to hear this testimony. And some of you have heard her testimony because she's actually shared before. But when she shared it in the in-depth way that she did on Saturday in person while we were at lunch after the event, yes, you did. You missed a treat, Leslie. I said, Jay, this is the definition of the blessings of plexus. Like, you are a walking poster child of the blessings of plexus. So I knew I was going to do this call surrounding around this theme just because of Thanksgiving and us really wanting to walk in a spirit of gratitude, particularly in this season. And so without further ado, Jay, I want you to go ahead and take it away, and don't spare any, don't leave any details out, right? I want you to share your journey. Take it away, my friend.
Hey, my name is Jay, and I'm a Gold Ambassador with Plexus. Can you hear me real good? Okay. November of 2020, me and my guy, we went to Vegas on vacation. And while we was on vacation, he took a picture of me. And I didn't know. And so when he sent me the picture, I looked at the picture and I was like, who is this? And he laughed. And I was like, why are you laughing? He was like, that's you. And I was like, no, that's not. And he was like, yes, it is. So I looked again and I was like, oh my God, why you didn't tell me I was this big? Why you didn't let me know that I had gained all this weight? I was so upset. I had literally, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the picture right here with me sitting on that's me, 240 pounds.
We could see it. We could see it, Jay.
He didn't know that it kind of upset me, but he was like, Jay, he said, I'm going to tell you this because, you was going through so much and I didn't want to put, too much on you and everything. And so I called my daughter and I was telling her and she was like, Mom, calm down. Please just calm down. So that night I was just praying and I was just crying. I was like, God, you got to just help me. I said, you really have to help me because it's almost like I'm losing myself. I've never in my entire life gained 240 pounds. I had lost my mom in October 2016. And being the only girl and the oldest, I had to take care of all the arrangements and all this stuff. And me and her, we was real close. We were close like sisters. And so I was trying to be there for my girls, but all at the same time, I wasn't being there for myself. So I started picking up all the weight and everything. And then I was being depressed, having anxiety. I couldn't even pull up on a church ground to go to church without having an anxiety attack where I couldn't even breathe. And so I just, night after night, I would pray and ask God, will you please, you have to help me. My mom always told me, she said, when you pray in a conversation to God. It's like, I do your will. And I need some help. I need some direction. I didn't want to have weight loss surgery. That was something that I just didn't want to have. My doctor had talked to me about having it. And that was something I told him, no, That's not an option for me. I have to find something else. And so I remember it was probably about a couple of weeks after the picture, I was dreaming. I know it was a dream because of the simple reason I could just see myself just walking. And I was walking with people, but I was walking and I could just see like light. I could see light, but I didn't know what that light was. And so it seemed like the closer I was getting, I was steady seeing light, but I was seeing letters. And my mom always told me, she was like, if God give you something in a dream or anything, you are to write it down. Well, I wrote the letters down in my phone, and then I took a screenshot. The next morning, I was talking to my daughter because she called me on her way to work. And so I was telling her what happened. And she was like, well, Mom, did you research? And I was like, no, I think it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, I just screenshotted and turned my phone over because of the light. And she was like, Mom, check it out and see what it say. Check it out. And so I did, and I felt like it was something with weight loss. And so I called her and I was like, oh, it's just something with weight loss, Shanaria. And she was
Hey,
like,
Jay.
what? I said the letter said Plexus. And those were the letters I put in my phone. I'd never, ever heard of plexus before in my life. Nobody ever said anything to me about plexus or anything. And so I told her, I was like, Shania, I don't spend enough money on weight loss stuff. I can't do this no more. And so she was like, okay, then. I said, well, something kept bothering me. So I put it in Facebook. And you know how you Google Facebook to see if somebody's talking about it, or Instagram. So the familiar last name that came up was McKinnis. Well, I was like, that's weird. I haven't seen these people or talked to these people in over 15 years. But I reached out to Leroy, Marquita's husband, and I asked him, I say, do plexus really work? And so, and then I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry. I say, my mom passed and I'm going through all of this and that. And I say, and I'm trying to find something. And I've tried all this different stuff. I think I have over $2,500 or more of weight loss stuff all in my pantry. And I say, and I don't take any of this stuff. And he was like, well, can my wife call you? I was like, sure. He said she runs the day-to-day of it, plexus. And I was like, sure, that's fine. So she called me. So I told her everything that was going on. I say, no one has talked to me about it. I don't know anything about it. I said, I've only just seen stuff I see on Facebook. I say, I don't think I know it's all natural, plant-based. I say, but I need something because they have me on high blood pressure medication, cholesterol pills. They say I'm a borderline diabetic. It just seemed like my health started just spiraling out of control. I'm on anxiety medication. I'm on on depression medication. All this stuff have me to where I've gained over 100 pounds since my mom passed. And so, she was like, okay, just kind of calm down. I was like, yeah. And I said, no, I have to find something. I said, because I don't want weight loss surgery. So she began to talk to me and she gave me her story, her testimony. And then she asked me, did I want to try it? And I was like, yes, I really do. And I said, this is how I am. God gave me this in a dream. I'm going to try it. I said, because my mom always told me he's not going to give you a vision or give you something and tell you about it if it's not going to help you. So I said, I have no choice but to try it. So I bought it in November. Everybody, I love to cook. This is Thanksgiving holidays, Christmas coming up in December. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start it in January. And I say, because I'm a cook and I know I'm going to eat. I said, let me just try it in January. I can be more focused. So I did start it in January. But before I started it in January, I had to go back to my doctor. So when I went back to my doctor, he was like, well, I sent out a referral to this weight loss surgery, bariatric center and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know why. I'm not going to do it. I'm adamant about that. I'm not doing it. I said, I'm so sorry. I've seen too much and I can't. And so he, he just said, okay. And so when I did start it, I started, I love to drink water already. So drinking half my body weight in water, in ounces in water, wasn't an issue. So I started taking Plexus. When I started taking it, let me back up. So October 2016, I lost my mom of colon cancer. September of 2007, I lost my dad of lung cancer. So basically, I have to get tested every 3 years for cancer. So not having both parents and being like the oldest girl and stuff, it's hard. So I when I started taking Plexus, I really didn't know what to expect. I was just going off faith. Basically, that's what I was going off of. And so when I went to my doctor, and so January, I was 240. My waist was 47 inches. I was big. I wouldn't even buy sizes like 10, 12, 14, 16s. No, I would only buy like extra large 2X. I wouldn't do that because to me that was depressing more. I wouldn't go out the house a lot. I basically wore sweats. The kids want me to go somewhere. I'd be like, no, I'm not going. I don't feel like going. And so, so in April, when I went back to my doctor, because I can tell my daughter was like, when I started taking it, she was like, Mom, you're losing. I say, are you? I said, I don't feel like it. She was like, yes, you are. I said, well, I know I sleep better. And I know that I'm going to the restroom more, because I have IBS with constipation. So that means that I would go like 3 or 4 days without going to the restroom. So when I started taking the Plexus, I was going more regularly. Mind you, I started out with like 2 a day, with the 1 a day, 1 of the Slim, and then 2 bio cleansing, 2 bio 5s. But then I started looking at other videos on YouTube and I seen what people were increasing. So I started increasing. So when I started increasing, I started going regularly. So in April, when I went back to the doctor, he weighed me, and I had lost 30 pounds and 12 inches off my waist. And so he was like, what are you doing? He said, did you talk to the nutritionist and everything? I was like, no. I said, I take Plexus. I took my bottle of probiotic 5 and my cleanse and my Slim, and I let him see it. I said, this is what I take. And he was like, I've never heard of this. I say, well, it's plant-based, it's non-GMO, and it's working for me. And he took my blood pressure, it was normal. He was like, if you continue to do this in July, we would take you off your medication, everything. Well, it reduced my sugar craving. I was going to the restroom. I was sleeping more. I had lost a lot of inflammation. My ankles were so huge to where I would just wear tennis shoes. I've never been a tennis shoe person. I have a closet full of wedges, stilettos, 4-inch, 5-inch heels. I hadn't been able to wear them in over 3 years. I was only wearing tennis shoes. This past weekend, I had on a pair of motorcycle boots that I had bought because I went to the motorcycle rally 2 weeks ago. And it was over 400,000 people there. And I did not have a panic attack. I did not have an anxiety attack. I had the most fun I could ever have 2 weeks ago. But in between that time that I'm telling you, from my mom passing and then me taking Plexus, something else happened. May of 2019, I was walking into the building. I worked for the federal government in Fort Worth. I was walking into the building. The next thing I know, they was taking me out on a stretcher. They called my boyfriend and they told him to meet them at Harris Hospital. Well, he had his brother and sister-in-law to go pick up my car. They told him I had an accident, and what had happened, there was water on the floor. They didn't get it up and I didn't see it. The security guards say they hurt my head when it hit the floor. When I got to the hospital, they said I had a concussion. After they did all the x-rays and stuff. They said my brain shifted. I lost my memory. I couldn't really do for myself because I was having issues with my back and with my neck. My boyfriend had to drive me everywhere. My kids was helping me do everything else. And I was going to physical therapy. I was going to pain management, and I have been going. And so I ended up having a surgery, rotator cuff surgery, but I refused to let them do surgery on my back. So one day I was on one Thursday, Stacy Slaughter, she gave a testimony how she was taking ease and nerve. And she was saying how she took the loaded dose. That night, I ordered it. When it came in, I started taking it. Within 1 week, I was able to get up out of bed. I was able to bathe myself. I was able to drive myself where I wanted to go. I'm sorry. And I've been taking the loaded dosage every day. I take 4. I take 4 a day. I take 4 E's and 4 nerves. I've been able to, I went on a trip in June in Florida and I met you guys. That was the first time I've ever been on a trip by myself without my mom, my girls, or my boyfriend. I had an amazing time. I talk about the trip every time I talk to someone. I tell them about the community. I tell them about everyone that I've met. I tell them how I'm still, working on losing the rest of my weight, but I feel good. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not taking, those medications anymore. I take Plexus. And when I say I take Plexus, I take Plexus. I mean, because I wrote down everything that I take so I can tell everyone what I take. So right now, I take 2 Slims a day. I take them in the morning. I put 2 Slims, I drink it in the morning. I take 4 Bio 5s and 4 Bio Cleanse in the morning. In June, I started taking 2 blocks, 2 balance. I take those after 12. I take 4 nerve pills. I take 4 E's. I do 2 immunity after 12 noon. I take 2 X Factor Plus after 12 noon. I take 2 Mega X before going to bed. I put collagen in my coffee and in my smoothie, and I put my greens in my smoothie. And I do a meal replacement every other day for lunch. I've lost my craving for sweets. I don't have a taste for chocolates. And I was the person at Kroger's, buy 3, get 2 free. I was the one from 2 to 4 at Sonic, getting those Route 44 drinks at half price. All my snacks, my grandbaby coming in the house now, she's like, yeah, you don't have no good snacks. I said, yes, I do. They good for me. You have no candy. I said, no, babe, I don't have any candy. And now, I don't know, my craving for meat has changed. I still eat meat, but I've been trying different things like mushrooms and different stuff like that. It's just been life-changing, and I'm excited. And I know this is for me. I have no doubt in my mind.
Wow, wow, wow. I honestly don't have words because every time I felt like you were almost getting to like the end of your testimony, you have a whole new health issue that came up. And then you showed us how Plexus dealt with that. And so I just really want to just honor you for really, really prioritizing your health, Jay, because I don't know if you heard every product that this amazing woman takes, but she is a poster child for Plexus. a poster child. And while many of us are like, oh, I'm going to let my triplex stretch out a month or month and a half. Like, this woman is like, no, 2 slim a day, loading dose of ease, loading dose of nerve. I'm going to take block and balance. I mean, mind blowing things that I have heard very few people in our entire company do. And you really took the bull by the horn, Jay. And I just think that is so admirable that you decided that enough was enough and you made a decision to truly prioritize your health. And I'll never forget when we were sitting at lunch last weekend and you said, Plexus is my life insurance. Like, this is life insurance. Speak just a little bit to that. Like, tell me how, besides all of the amazing health testimony that you shared, tell us really how you feel blessed by Plexus in other ways. You talked a little bit about the community. Talk to us about that.
Well, I'm my plexus when I have a monthly spreadsheet that I put as far as my bills. Plexus is right up there with life insurance. It's right up there with the water bill, the light bill. I put that in my monthly budget. And changing my life. If I don't know how to explain grief to anyone, but when you lose your mom, me and my mom, we talked about it. And she was saved. She believed in God. But no matter how you talk about a situation, your heart is not ready. And I felt like I was basically drowning in grief and I didn't know how to pull myself up. It changed my life. I'm not saying that I would have hurt myself, but I'm just saying I could just see myself just seem like I was just going into a deep hole.
Yeah.
I seemed like time she passed, I started just having illnesses and illnesses. Even in June, before we went on our trip, I had a surgery on my head to where they had to cut all my hair off and remove 3 cysts out of my head. When I came to Florida, they had just removed my stitches like 24 hours before.
Mm-hmm.
They say do not get in a swimming pool, do not let no chlorine get in the incisions. And so when I went back to the doctor, he was telling me, he was like, well, we tested those cysts and they wasn't cancerous. That never dawned on me. I didn't even think about it could have been cancerous. That was the farthest thing from my mind. All I just knew was that I was having a pain in my head. They were growing and they needed to be removed. I try to tell everybody about Plexus because I know what it has done for me. I know that, I'm cooking this big dinner for Thanksgiving. I know my ankle is not swollen. I know I'm not having someone sit up there and tote me and walk me to the bed because I'm in so much pain.
Yeah. Jay, I really want you to know how many hundreds, if not thousands of people you're going to bless with your testimony and with this recording, because if I have ever heard an amazing testimony, this is at the top of the list, truly, because I can tell just from talking to you in person, but then you resharing your testimony here tonight, how much your life has truly changed and how much of a blessing Plexus has been to you and your family. And so I just want to give my just sincere gratitude because there's so many people that will be impacted by your story. And I appreciate you so, so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Well, guys, I'm always, always excited to get on these calls because a lot of times when we share Plexus with our friends and family, and we may not necessarily get the response that we want because they don't see what we see just yet and the blessings that Plexus can provide in terms of better health and even better finances. This is one of the ways each week that I get to get infused with energy and become excited once more for why we do what we do. So I just encourage you guys, as you go into the holidays this coming week and you hear of close family members and friends talk about some of these same elements that Jay shared with us tonight, be bold. Don't hold this back. Don't hide this from your friends and family, because so many people are suffering in silence. And I can guarantee Jay probably had not told a lot of her friends and family about some of the issues she was dealing with. And so for us to be a blessing to others is really what this is all about. So thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this incredible, incredible testimony. We appreciate you again, Jay. And thanks for blessing us tonight. You guys have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Jay. Lord,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Robin.
God bless
Always,
you.
always a blessing.
Thanks, Tony.
My Lord Jesus.
Such a blessing. Bye,
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I really have a question. Can I ask it real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me stop the recording. Danielle, hold on.